evening, everyone, and welcome to Shit Moms Won't Say. My name is Jess Ader-Ferretti, and I will be your host. Tonight, I am super excited. I have someone here who I am wildly afraid of. She could beat the shit out of me in 2 seconds flat. On top of that, though, she is the physical producer of one of my favorite human beings on the planet, in addition to 2 other amazing girls. She is grandmother to the little boy who I go to sleep literally crossing my fingers will become my son-in-law. Wife to Mr. Worldwide himself, Ernie. But on top of all of that, she is a motorcycle riding, tattooed, cigarette smoking, cursing, Reiki healing, deaf doula. Mrs. Donna Hoffmann.
Hey.
I'd imagine there's thunderous applause out there. Terrific. True or false, you could beat the shit out of me?
Probably.
She could, 100%.
Pretty quick with a knife, too.
Quick with a knife. Yeah, just a stab. Stab. So let's set the tone real quick. First time I went to your house in Massapequa that we met, you had seen a picture of me on social media in Hawaii in front of a tree that you felt that I had disrespected because when you asked if I hugged it, the answer was no. So true or false, when I came to your house, you met me outside and made me, I would almost say physically assaulted me to hug the tree.
Yep.
True. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to show nature respect. And that tree was gorgeous. I could see the roots and everything in the picture. And I was like, why is this chick not hugging the tree? Like, who was she to be so disrespectful?
So disrespectful.
Yeah.
Oh
so then when you came to my house, I'm like, well, she's not crossing the threshold. Just fucking hug the tree. Hug the tree, show some respect.
She literally wouldn't let me in her house until I hugged the tree.
And she hugged the tree.
That's our relationship to level set. Okay, so we're gonna go into the big mom 3.
Okay.
So first question, did you always know you wanted to be a parent?
Yes.
You did?
I did. I think it's because my mom was a great mom. She was a great mom. And she was so into being a mom.
Okay.
And I always admired her. And I took everything she did to heart, everything she said. And I just knew I wanted that experience. I didn't know that I wanted 3 girls like my mother had. But I remember telling my mom once, I had Katie and Victoria, I have 3 girls, and I really wanted the 3rd kid. And I'm one of 3.
Right.
And my mother says, Jordan, we need to do it. I said, I don't think we can try me. And she's like, yeah, no, can't do that.
Not into it.
And I said, well, why? She said, look at life. Everything is made for even numbers. To have a 3rd kid go to an amusement park, somebody's going to cry.
Alone.
You get in the car, who doesn't want to sit in the middle? I don't want to sit in the middle.
Me either.
They don't want to sit in the middle. It's just on and on and on and on and on about why you should not have a 3rd child. And I was like, you know, now I'm thinking, she always does know everything.
Trust her.
But then it hit me. Mom, you had 3. And she said,
Well,
learn from my mistakes. I wasn't a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
No.
But then they had 3rd girl cars.
That's right. All of a
Nobody
sudden,
sat on the bum.
all of a sudden, all of that old wives bullshit didn't count.
That's right.
Okay, question number 2. What is the most backhanded and or shittiest piece of advice you've ever gotten from another mother? Like a mom shamey piece
Oh
of
my
advice.
gosh. You know, I'm trying to remember because when I had Katie, I used to belong to a moms and tots group at the church.
Okay.
Because there was no like nursery or like daycare or socializing really.
Yeah.
So I joined the church, moms and tots group, and all these women are very catty, by the way.
Women are terrible.
Oh my God.
Women are nasty bitches.
Oh my God.
And if you don't fit into the mommy mold, you're trash. Right? Like I'm like a Neanderthal. They're like, you're a mother?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, like I never let Katie wear clothes. Yeah, I mean, I always let her wear onesies because they were just cotton and never fresh. So I'm gonna say one of the worst things people told me is that you must at all times put your kids in shoes. And I was like, but why?
For reference, all of you judgy bitch moms out there, my daughter is 9 months old and has never worn a pair of shoes. So
Isn't
come
that
at me.
wonderful? That's
Isn't it wonderful? Her feet are free and happy, and her toes are not cramped, and she's not shoving them into cramped
so
shoes yet.
that would be one of the things I would say. So
Okay.
they always have to wear shoes, especially with the girls. They were bows, and they were cute, they were pretty and all that. But I was just so much like into nature and just feeling the earth. I mean,
But I think we should show off. We're both shoeless right now, right? We're both not wearing shoes.
Katie was born in June, so she wasn't even walking till later anyway. But did the kid ever wear shoes? Until this day, if we have a family picture taken, it's a rule.
No shoes.
No shoes.
I love that. I
No
love
shoes.
that.
And my poor husband is like,
He gets
so
it.
I'm like,
He has to
so
just
he
embrace
understands
it.
it.
He has to embrace it. Let me 2.5 that question.
Okay.
So I know you mentioned your mom.
Yeah.
I had the honor of meeting her. She's like the sweetest
Yeah,
little
she was
lady.
cool.
Word on the street. By word on the street, I mean her daughter, Katie Gaston, told me that you are like sort of enraged by like Spock mentality, which was like of the generation. Like Dr. Spock was like the thing. What is something you either remember from childhood or when you became a mom that you were like, that's the craziest fucking wives' tale out there, and no.
I have to say, I was not raised on the Spock generation.
Oh, okay, cool.
Believe it or not, my mom was not, neither was my dad. My dad believed in getting a good beating.
a full back.
Brooklyn Italian, and he always said, 2 things. I put you into this world, and I take you out.
Absolutely.
And he would. So, I mean, that's the generation they came from, and that's what I was raised in. But I do remember having my kids, and my husband was given the Dr. Spock book as a gift from work.
Did you like burn it or?
Only, I think he has it like laminated somewhere in the house. He lives by that book. And I didn't believe in that. I just felt that it was always, it's very a maternal thing. Like you just know. I mean, there were people who just know, and there were people who just are clueless.
Right.
I guess my husband was kind of clueless. So he did everything by the book.
Okay.
When I wasn't around.
What's like something that infuriated you that he did by the book that you're like, that's not natural?
For me, was 2 things. Never ever put the child in your bed.
Okay.
That's number 1. And number 2 was letting them cry. So my little one was sick as a baby. I always knew she was sick. Pediatricians didn't believe me, and I wasn't a first-time mom. I was a girl or anything. And I remember we had just gotten our first bedroom set, believe it or not. We got married really young. And no, I was not pregnant before I got married. So
Thank you for asking. Judgy, girl. Very judgy. Don't judge.
See what I mean?
And they're not even here.
I know.
And
but
you feel like shit, they're not even here.
I just know.
Oh,
People always say that. Oh, you got married when you were 22.
I bet you did.
Go back to my father. I take you in, I take you out. No. So we had gotten our first bedroom set, and it was a king-size platform. But we could only afford a queen-size mattress.
Oh, no.
So we put the queen-size mattress on this king-size platform. And only stepped by the door. So the mattress was all the way to his side. So like when I got into bed, I had to climb up the step and they get on the mattress. Now my little one was sick as a baby. So only thing that would comfort her was being near me.
Sure.
So I go back. I hid pillows underneath. And when she'd wake up in the middle of the night, and she'd nurse or whatever, I'd go back into my room. Just like Little House on the Prairie when they had the sock drawer.
Yeah.
Kids with sock drawer. Because Dr. Spock said no. So anyway, so I put the pillows on the platform and I just put her there. You'd get up and go to work. No idea.
Oh my God.
No idea.
Does Victoria know this?
Yes.
Okay. If you're
Explains
listening,
a lot.
It explains a lot that you slept in a drawer.
Yeah. So she slept right there.
Okay.
And then I just put the pillows on.
I won't tell. I mean, the entire internet is going to find out. But
That's okay.
I won't tell anybody.
Deny.
Sorry, Ernie.
Deny.
It's out the bag.
Deny.
It's my fault.
Dr. Spock was too rigid for me. Just
too rigid.
Wasn't my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then big mom question number 3. What special skill and or like if you want to call it a superpower did you have before becoming a mom that you feel really, really helped you as a parent?
Okay. I know you're all going to be hating on me for this. I personally don't give a
I can't
shit.
wait. I'm literally like,
But I'm a deaf mom.
yes. That is literally the answer I was hoping you would give.
But it's true. You will never get this.
Well, and I'd imagine you have 3 girls who are now all grown-ass women, awesome girls, ripping each other's hair out in the other room, and you're like, fuck you guys, I can't even hear you. Oh, that's the answer I was hoping.
It was so awesome. Like, if they got into a fight, maybe it happened once or twice when they were little, and they both get punished.
Yeah.
Or time out, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care, it's a punishment. You go in the corner, you're being punished. So, time out, please. So they would both get it. So they just didn't fight. Just didn't fight. I couldn't pick a side.
No, you didn't know.
And here the kids. When I was about 35, I had an implant. And at that point, I was like 98% hard of hearing.
Were you born hard of hearing?
No, I was in a car accident when I was 4. And for the idiots out there, no, I was not driving. I've been asked that, done that, no. So, when I was 4. So, it was just so normal for me. You know, that was just life.
Yeah.
You know. But when I was 35, they weren't making hearing aids strong enough. So, it was like this whole big insurance thing. So, I ended up getting the implant.
Right.
Which I went from a 98% loss to about a 30% loss.
It's a huge difference.
Okay, but now I gotta remember my kids or how do you know how old they were at that time? 10, maybe 12, 10, and 6. So they were already groomed to having a deaf mom. So I like that.
Of course. Well, you could just keep fucking with them.
Oh, but I did. I did. So I remember Katie and Victoria being in the basement fighting. And it took me by surprise because I could hear it. So I got in the house, took the door. And I was like, wow, oh God, that's a bitch. Oh my God. So now, I know who started it. I hear them gonna come out. I'm gonna go tell mommy. So I hear them coming up the stairs and I back away. And both of them, she said, and that was the first time I realized, kids lie.
Oh yeah.
Kids lie.
Kids lie, adults lie, everyone lies.
And I was trying not to laugh. And I was like, So I did what I always did, and they both got punished. Both got punished. My husband came home, I was like, Camilla, I gotta tell you, but those bitches dead in the basement because they thought I could, I had everything, but don't tell them.
Don't blow up my spot. I'm still super deaf.
Right. And then, now they're getting older.
Okay, cool, okay.
I'm not that old, and I don't remember what I did back then.
Of course.
So now I'm driving mom. And they're well in the back seat. She can't hear. And I'm driving, I'm like, wow. Until this day, it still fucks with them. All the time. I always tell them, I always know. And they're like, how do you know?
And you know what my favorite part is her daughter, Katie Casson, will be the next episode. So cat's out today on that. But we gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
Because she was she's an asshole, you know? She is. I love her. She's an asshole.
She doesn't think anything.
She doesn't think that she knows. But
She's come out to be a good asshole.
She's a good asshole. A good asshole. Good for her. Look at you raising a good asshole. Good for you. Speaking of being hard of hearing, we're gonna take a slightly I don't want to say political because it's not political, right? We shouldn't call it political. I would imagine, as someone who, and by the way, the reason why we are not necessarily socially distancing right now and sitting on my couch outside is because Dawn really can't Zoom. It would be really hard for us to have a conversation via Zoom, and I felt like I'd be doing a disservice not sharing her story. Reward outweighs the risk, right? That being said, as a cautious mask-wearing citizen, I would imagine that it has to fucking enrage you because you rely on reading lips so much.
I do.
When people who have no real anything aside from an inconvenience wearing a mask are either very vocal or posting on social media about how uncomfortable they are.
Boo-hoo.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. If I could, I'd cut them so fast they wouldn't know what hit them. Because it is very difficult. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking, actually knowing that I wasn't different than anybody else.
Yeah.
I was not different. So like I said, when I was 35, I had this implant. And that's when I found out I was deaf. Like, I never knew that before that. Because my life was good.
It was good, yeah.
So, my mother used to always say, kill them with kindness, drop them nuts. So anytime I would go to a store, especially Christmas time, holiday time, it was the best. Cashiers are cranky, people are cranky. And I'd be like, just give them kindness. And I always did it because it would make me laugh.
Of course.
But you can see people's shoulders drop, they take a breath, they lighten up. Just give them kindness.
Yeah,
and it's so cool to watch.
Yeah.
I recently went to the butcher. I didn't go there to get meat. I went there to get something
What
else.
did you go there for?
I know, right?
Uh-oh.
Because I don't even eat meat. But
That's right.
it's a tiny market, and I was so like, I'm so drunk full and stuff with this whole pandemic that I didn't want to go like to the local market or
Yeah,
anything. So I went to
sure.
a tiny market, and I already knew I was going there. And he said, "Can you do me a favor when you get there? Because there's a butcher in the back. Can you please get ground beef? I think he said 3 pounds of ground beef and 3 pounds of chicken." So I was like, "All right, I got this." Not thinking. So I go to the store, and it was done really well the way they separated everybody. It's really tiny, so there wasn't a lot of people in there. So my turn came to go up to the butcher, and we all had the mask on. And I said, 3 pounds of chicken, and he gave it to me. And I can tell he was very agitated, very cranky, older man. And I wanted to joke with him, but I'm like, I can't really, because I'm not going to hear what he says. So then he asked for the next item, and I said 3 pounds of ground beef. Well, shut up the fan. I can see him getting angrier and angrier as he's trying to speak to me. And at that point, I realized, wow, I am at a disadvantage. That's never happened before. Because most of the time, I'll go back to that in a second, but I was at a disadvantage, and I was never made to feel different.
Right. Which, like, God bless your mom for that. Incredible.
It's
And
just
God bless your
like-
parents. Yeah, amazing.
And I was almost frightened in a sense, and nothing scares me. Nothing.
Oh, I know that.
Nothing. And I was just like, he's getting so agitated. And I kept saying, I'm sorry, I can't hear you, I can't understand this. But anyway, he goes to get the ground beef, slams it down on the counter, and then I just left. So I was frazzled. I get home, and I was so angry at my husband. I came home cursing up a storm. Don't ever put me in that position again. He said, "What happened?" So I told him. Then he said to me, Dawn, he was probably trying to ask you what type of ground beef you wanted. I'm like, well, what does that mean? That's what I don't even eat meat. And he's like, well, there's lean, there's truck, there's mixed with some pork. I'm like, great, you're gonna throw the pigs in there too. I had no idea. So maybe that's what he was asking, and I was clueless, and it scared me.
Yeah.
In a sense, and I don't scare
disadvantage. Huh.
Yeah.
Disadvantage. So you hear that? Wear your fucking masks. Okay? Got it? Perfect. We're gonna move on back to mom stuff. So you are a badass tattooed mama, as so many of us are. I love them. They're so cool.
Thank you.
Let's do 3 questions. It seems to work, right?
Okay.
And I'll name them all, and you can just go whatever order you want. Do you have a tattoo for your 3 girls?
I do, and I spelled my oldest one's name on.
We'll get right back to that. Do you have a tattoo for your grandson, who I'm in love with?
I don't.
So when Dawn came here, she told me that she is trying. What are you trying to teach Jamie? But you don't know if you have enough time before you go back to fuck you. Maybe you could get a picture of him like this, tattooed on you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm teaching him so many
All
things.
kinds of shit.
No, I want to get like an Irish tattoo for him. And had I known I was going to be here this long, I would have called some people. So.
Is a tattoo for Jamie in the works?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Before he was born, when I knew he was coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I won't let the cat out of the bag. You keep when you get it, I'll be like, she's back on.
Yeah.
Here it is.
And I'll spell his name right.
I hope so. And then overall, what's your favorite tattoo? So let's go back to the girls, and then tell me what your favorite tattoo is.
I have about 15 of them, and my favorite one is my dream catcher.
Love it.
It was done by a female tattoo artist who I met at a tattoo convention, who we just connected. She's older than I am. She's been in the business over 30 years, and I went with my middle daughter, who's a mini me, and
Yes,
I told her under no circumstances are you getting tattooed, or me, or anyway, in a tattoo convention. It's dirty. There's no lighting. And we were walking around having a good time, bikers or whatever, we were just doing our thing. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw this woman, and I walked over to the table and started looking at her book. And she was in the middle of putting a stencil of this huge back piece on it, big back piece that she was going to walk on.
In the middle of a convention.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's getting worked on, and I'm thinking...
Remember conventions before all this? Oh my god. Anyway, wear your mask.
Oh my God. So now I'm like, this guy's huge. It's beautiful back piece. And we just caught each other's eye. And she said to him, I'll be right back. You know, and she's got the sense alarm. And she came over to me and she said, can I help you? And I happened to see this. And it's a cross and it's done in fine line.
So pretty, yeah.
And it reminded me of my dad. My dad had something, he had a cross. Let's just say, put it there. I'm not even going to get into how he got it. But I said, really like it. She just hold this big guy. Can you wait an hour? And he just looked at her like she was batshit crazy. So I met her. So anyway, she did that. And then I had the dream catcher. And she had such a feminine touch.
You can even see like the lines.
The lines and the feathers. It's very soft. Yeah, so I'm a big believer in like Native American culture, all kinds of healing, Buddhism. Actually, I'm not partial to one religion or the other. I just believe every religion has a story, and I love all of them.
Nice
so
attitude to have. It's a really nice attitude to have.
You know, they all have a story.
Yeah.
They all have a story. So anyway, so this is actually one of my favorites, and then I have one on my foot that says no, Nemo Nisi Mors, which is Latin. Also with the Celtic drawing of a ring that I had, and it means no one but death shall part us. So in any relationship, any people that you meet, it's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Until you meet your mother.
Until you die. Tell me about the misspelling.
Oh my God,
Okay.
so funny, so funny. It was my second tattoo.
Okay.
My second tattoo, drinking, having a good time. And I had the appointment to go, and it was Catherine, Victoria, and Elizabeth. And the guy said to me, "Is it spelled right?" I said, "Dude, yeah." And he asked me like 3 times, and I'm like, "I'm about to go out with this guy. Like, what do you think I am, a fucking moron?" And Catherine's name is Katherine. But it looks so much nicer when you spell it because it's Katherine. And I got home, and the next day,
You sobered up.
I sobered up, and her godfather came over, and we grew up together. And he looks, he's checking out the ink, and he goes, "You spelled your name wrong."
Oh.
Did not. And I looked and said, "Motherfucker, spelled my kid's name wrong." I told no one. And little by little, everybody started to notice
They
it.
saw.
And then when I connected with another tattoo artist, anytime I went to him, he knew about the E was missing, and he would say to me, "I gotta fix that somehow." So one time he called me up, and I had seen him quite a few times, and one time he called me up and he goes, "Just, can you come here now?" I said, "Okay." And I went, and he's like, "I figured it out." So he got the E in there, and
Okay.
all's well
all
that
is
ends
well.
well.
Okay. Let's our final topic. This is flying, right? I know we were both like, we're nervous. How do we do this? This is fine.
Great.
We're fine.
This is
We're doing
great.
great. Last topic. I've already referred to myself as a Neanderthal, but I'll say it again. You are a Reiki healer.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that means. Aside from people being like, it would be good for you. You could really use a Reiki
see, people
healer.
who do that, stay the fuck away from
Oh,
it.
I try to. They find me.
Oh.
People like that flock to me. They're like, "Oh, you feel that way? Let me invalidate it." So, how does a Reiki healer?
Oh, okay, wait a
help-
minute. First of all, people should not come to you. So right away, stay away from them. To find out you go to them, you'll be having more trees than you can count. So stay away from them.
Okay.
You need to come to us if that's what you choose to do, because it's free will. So Reiki healing is handless healing.
Okay.
The simplest way to explain it is just a lot of love from media.
Okay.
It's a lot of training. A lot of people who are very okay with quietness, and I think I always had a gift
Okay.
because I didn't hear anything. So I was always very in tune to what was going on around me, what I was feeling, how certain things made me feel, and I saw and heard everything with my eyes. So when I started meeting some people, and this was later in life, I could never understand why traditional therapy didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I met this girl who turns out I actually knew her for years and years and years. And we started working together. She wasn't a therapist, but she was a healer. And we had many therapy sessions.
Sure.
And then after about, maybe 6 years, doing different things and learning about the breathing, and you'd be surprised how many people breathe wrong. I went for an echocardiogram, and I'm doing my breathing because that's just how I breathe now. And this woman kept digging it further and further into my heart, and I was just like, what's up? She's like, can you please breathe? First of all, don't ever give me that attitude. Not wise.
She'll cut you. She'll cut you right in the face.
Not wise.
She'll do it.
Not wise. Why? So anyway, so I said I am breathing, but I didn't realize I was breathing correctly where everybody else breathes wrong. Everybody does shallow breathing. It's just natural for you don't want to take that air all the way down. And I take it all the way down. So I guess she was trying to get a better reading of my heart. Oh my God, can you imagine if she was looking at my stomach, man, the shit she would have seen.
Well, so as a singer, right, like, I breathe correctly.
Exactly.
But when I go to the doctor, they're like, man, that's a real deep breath you got there. And I'm like, well, good training, right? Yeah. But yeah, people are like very shallow breathing, and you're like, no wonder you have terrible anxiety. Take a fucking breath.
I mean it, literally.
Breathe in, take it in. Absolutely. Well, they tell you in singing, sing from your vagina.
Right,
That's
exactly.
It,
exactly. I remember that from Katie. But Reiki just ended up coming and finding me. And I love what I can do for other people. I also know when to say no.
Okay. A good skill.
Yeah, I knew when to say no. I also had I never go out of my way to tell people they need it because who am I? I'm not.
You're Dawn fucking Hoffmann, man.
Yeah,
Come
I'm not
on.
one to say that. First of all, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, just between touching me." And my friend is handless. Just stay over there.
Stay away. I'd stand.
Stay over there. But I did have the luxury. Luxury. I guess that's a bad word. I was honored.
Okay.
I live in Florida now, and I live around the corner from the school that had the shootings.
Parkland.
Yeah, Parkland. And this woman reached out to me, and she wanted to know, whatever, if I would be interested. I said, absolutely, no problem. I'll meet you in the office. And I got there. She was there, and she said, it's not for me, it's for my daughter. And her daughter was 18 years old, and she started telling me a little bit about her daughter. And I was like, okay, no problem. High anxiety, college. I'm like, yeah, no problem, it's good. The kid came in, and sure enough, her best friend was killed and fell into her lap. So the work that I was able to do with her, she's now in college, she had a great year and a half, she's been doing awesome. Yeah, so it's a privilege to be able to share that with somebody who's open and receptive to it. And it's just love. It's really the only way I can explain it, and it's handless.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
really
cool.
It's really cool. But
okay,
I can go to the other extreme.
So like some.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
I met someone when I first moved to Florida who was just like, oh, I need all of that. What the fuck is that?
He's like, boom.
What is that? So believe it or not, I started, feeling around, and I was just like, oh my God, she's the devil. She's the freaking devil. I could just feel it. I was like, she's not really the devil. She's a fucking bitch is what she is. And I was just like, no. And she's constantly asking me. I have to, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And I can feel it. And I'm like, I just say, I don't know. Lying. But it's kind of cool. It's a cool experience if you meet with people who, and this is my advice to everyone who's interested in natural healing, you want to go with people who are grounded, and I'd like to say science-based. All my teachers were science-based.
Okay.
I went out of my way to pick and choose those people. I've learned from nurses, doctors, what do they call that? Exercise physiologists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who's grounded in science, who's taken the path of any kind of natural healing. I tend to lean more toward them because they're not those people that are out there faking going, you need healing, because they don't know shit. So it's just kind of cool. It's just
That is cool.
kind of well-rounded.
Okay, I have two more things.
Sure.
First of all, I would love for you to show.
Oh my God!
My cups.
Please.
But there's nothing. Here, you know what? I'm gonna get it real close. Look at
You
this.
do that.
There is nothing more appropriate. It says, "I am a fucking delight," which all it is. So before we wrap up, first of all, thank you.
Oh,
I'm
God,
so
my
happy.
pleasure.
She's going back to Florida tomorrow.
Friday. Storm's coming.
Storm's coming. Yeah, please. Hurricane Dawn's going back to Florida, so I appreciate you coming here and doing this first. I'm gonna leave off with one. I think it's an easy question.
Okay.
We'll see. What is one thing you wish you knew before becoming a parent?
It's really easy to get your heart open.
What do you mean?
Really easy. I found as a mother, I feel everything my kids feel.
Okay.
And my heart would just literally, like, I could feel it breaking. When they were sad about something, from the time they're little, you get that grade, or you get your first time out in school.
They deserved it.
Yeah. Your first heartache, your first shot. Yeah, you feel it the way you would feel like if you were upset or sad about something, magnified by 1,000. I wish somebody would have told me that.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like you can't capture it. Like I say that to Katie all the time. I'm like, I didn't know that I could love something this, like, in such a psychotic way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, you feel crazy.
But there's nothing more gratifying.
No, it's the best and the worst. Literally the best and the worst thing in the whole world.
It is. It really is. I just wish they would have told me that, just so I can prepare myself. But then again, would I truly be able to move?
No.
Those
and would
moments.
another person really even get it until they experience it?
No.
But that is the kind of advice that we want to offer other mothers or mothers that are not yet mothers, right? Things like that are super important. So, Dawn, thank you again for coming.
Please, my pleasure.
And thank you guys for tuning into Shit Moms Won't Say. Join us on Thursday night when the product of this beautiful woman will be joining me. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.